We got London on the track.
You understand?
Alright, what's going on, guys? Diamond here. We're back with a brand new video. We're back with a TF2 video. Been in the mood for making TF2 videos lately, and today we're going to talk about a topic everyone probably has some concern over. It's matchmaking, competitive matchmaking. I'm queued up and casual here right now, but we're going to talk about competitive matchmaking, and we're going to talk about pet peeves. And everyone's got pet peeves about matchmaking, and man, I'm going to share some pet peeves I asked some people about, just like I went around my friends list and asked, hey man, what do you not like about matchmaking? Anything you want to change? What pisses you off the most? And we're going to go over 5 of them, top 5 matchmaking pet peeves. And the first one we're going to go over is, it's pretty much people, reading off a little paper here, it's people refusing to take advice and admit that they're wrong. Now, the competitive community, it is the competitive community's job to, try to help, those casual matchmaking players, get more involved and discover competitive a little easier, because there is going to be a very steep learning curve to competitive matchmaking. Some people aren't going to know what they're doing at all. You're going to have people in your games that get like 1 point throughout like the entire 30 minutes. And probably a big pet peeve among a lot of people is that these people that may not be the most helpful people in the game are refusing to take your advice and are like either talking back to you or they're talking shit to you, and they're refusing to take advice, and it is something that drives so many people crazy. I can't begin to tell you. I represent the competitive community. I rock my, teamfortress.gg tag, or tf.gg tag, to represent TFTV, and, to try to get, everyone into, like when they say what's TFGG, and then I like explain, and then I kind of refer them to it, and then they get to discover competitive a bit more. And I have to put on a good good personality, and I'm out there talking to people, telling them what they can improve on, like what they should be doing, and taking my advice. But then there's some people that totally don't believe me, and they refuse, and they like counter call me, and they like refuse to take my help. And it drives me nuts, and I'm going to tell you that is a huge pet peeve of mine. And we're queued up here in Dust Bowl, apparently. Alright, and for number 4, we have no comms. That is a huge problem. There are so many people who play competitive, and there's so many competitive FPS games out there, and we see games like Counter-Strike, we see games, a lot of like versions of Counter-Strike. You'll see Overwatch even sometimes. Like a lot of games that have FPS, people actually know how to communicate properly. And hold on, let me just this kid on the saxophone is so fucking loud. Volume 0.0. Oh, hold on, 0.07. Let's do that. Yeah, sorry about that. That kid on the saxophone was so fucking annoying. But I wanted to say there's so many FPS games out there, competitive FPS games, that have players who like know how to use their mic properly. Like in CS:GO, you always hear damage callouts, you always hear like map location callouts, and you always hear that kind of stuff. And pretty much in TF2, the only callout you hear is spy. They don't even say where. They don't even say like behind who. Like they just say spy, and it's like it drives me nuts, man. I'll be honest with you. Like when people do that kind of stuff, and that lack of communication is a huge pet peeve of mine and of the communities. What people can do though, how to improve it, is pretty much people can just, I'm sure there's like people should get to know comp.tf, which is a page for competitive TF2. It's a Wikipedia, a wiki for competitive TF2, and I'm not focusing here. I gotta take out this gun. It's a wiki for competitive TF2. And it's like so useful. Like if you look up the map on the wiki, it'll show you all its callouts, and people just gotta get used to taking damage numbers. And TF2 is one of those games that like it's the right game at the wrong time, and competitive didn't come out in time, and most people aren't really like familiar that they have to be like it's like a competitive FPS game nowadays, and that's why you don't see like a lot of comms and shit that are useful. So it'll come eventually, but yeah, definitely A big pet peeve of ours is definitely that people don't communicate. It sucks being the only guy that's communicating and trying to help the team carry the team, and you have no information to use to you know like work off of, and that is definitely a big one. All right, and for number three, I think we can all agree. One of a huge thing everyone hates, and we're doing top five, so we're getting to like pet peeves that are worse and worse. A huge pet peeve that everyone hates is the bad matchmaking, and I'm talking about the matchmaking like engine or whatever you want to call it. Pretty much what's been happening right now is, let's say you're a fresh meat, you're getting paired up with like maybe like a Froyo stack. You're getting paired up with Mr. Slin stack. You're getting paired up with people who are significantly higher rank of you, and that did happen a lot more when the ranks were getting filtered out. When matchmaking just came out, but here we are almost a month into matchmaking, and it's still happening. It's still happening, and I gotta tell you, I feel really bad for some people who get just like you have to put up with that kind of shit. And I gotta tell you, hold on, what's enable? Or wait, is it 0 or 1? I try to meet these kids. Yeah. Like a really annoying thing is pretty much that bad ranking, and even for me, I'm like rank 8. I do fine than most matchmaking players out there, and I gotta tell you, when I'm solo queuing rank 8, and I get paired with a bunch of fresh meats, I kind of start tilting because it's not really how it's supposed to work, is it? Or like, let's say I get paired with a bunch of fresh meats, and then there's like 5 more rank 8s there. I think it's something you don't see in any other game. In Dota 2, the MMRs that you get paired up with are roughly the same. In CS:GO, the MMRs you get paired up with are roughly the same. Like everyone's roughly the same rank. Not for TF2 apparently, and it is so annoying. I don't want to go on a fucking rant about this, but yeah, it is some truly fucking annoying shit. And I think what they could do to fix it, I don't know, this isn't like a constructive feedback video for Valve, it's kind of just like a rant video, but what they can work to fix it is, I think the way they programmed it right now is pretty bad, and what they can try to do is they can, let's say each rank is a number, so fresh meat is 1, small time thug, which is rank 2, is number 2, whatever, like mercenary is number 7, so let's say that, like, what the matchmaking engine should be programmed to do, I say, would be like, say there's like a situation where like everyone's fresh meat, I'm rank 8, I'm on one team, and then the other team has, let's say, like 3 fresh meats and like 3 rank 8s. What they should try to do is they should compare the sums. They should figure out like the people that they're about to get match made into a game, and what they should try to do is they should try to equalize to make the two numbers on the sum of the numbers of each team as close as possible. So let's say in my example, I actually forgot what number I used, but let's say in my example there were 3 rank 8s, 3 fresh meats, and I was the 1 rank 8 on my team, and there everyone else was fresh meat. We should try to move that rank 8 because there's not enough players yet, right? But we should try to move. There's not enough players at that rank, but we should try to move 1 rank 8 from their team to this team so that the sums of like the ranks are as close to being equal to each other as possible. And I think that'd be a great way to improve the ranking system for now. But like I said, there's got to be a lot more people playing matchmaking, but for now it's definitely a huge pet peeve of ours. Alright, and here comes the number 2 pet peeve, and this is kind of a personal one. It's not one that's talked about a lot, but I'm sure a lot of people can relate to it, man. And I'm telling you, the number 2 pet peeve for me and hopefully other people is pub NGs. Now, I'm talking about stupid as fuck engineers, man. Like, they got their gibbous hat on, they got their pyro goggles, they got their mercenary badge, and here's what they do. We're playing a 5 CP map. All they fucking do is, well, we're rolling out to mid, and we got, let's say, a 5v6 with us because we're rolling out to mid, and the engineer on our team is going to start building a sentry gun at last. And that automatically puts us at a 5v6 on the mid fight. And like when I die and I'm respawning and I'm like at my spectator camera and I see a fucking engineer building a sentry and like an entire nest at last, I fucking freak out. Like, it is one of the most annoying things to like walk into a game. Like, it is like the least common sense thing you can do in all of like TF2 is to put your team at an automatic disadvantage when you're rolling out. Like usually I'm not like this is like an important this isn't like the most important factor, but one of the important factors of like determining like map control and like potentially a round victory is your mid fight, right? And god damn it, when you're doing it at a 5v6, it is so fucking annoying. Like, people need to realize that these kind of classes like engineer, and I guess for now it's pretty much engineer with all the unlocks that it has, is only really good at defending last. Maybe on a King of the Hill map you can run him on, like, you can run him with mini sentries on a King of the Hill map, but you fucking definitely cannot run him on 5 CP and build like a nest. That shit takes forever, and it's so fucking annoying to run into those NGs that just build at last, and then you end up losing, and they don't know what forward spawns are. They don't know that, like, it's so funny because I remember we capped mid once. We won the fight. He built a sentry at last, and I think he died somehow to like a spy that was on our last, and he died, and we capped the midpoint, and he showed up in his forward spawn, and he was fucking clueless. Like, he actually spent like 9 hours trying to fucking find his sentry gun all over the fucking map, and it was so fucking annoying. Like, I honestly couldn't stand it. And yeah, that is definitely a huge pet peeve of mine. Maybe more of a personal one, but goddamn, dude, do I fucking hate it. Holy shit. Alright, for number 1 matchmaking pet peeve, it's going to be 2 of them kind of combined together. And it's going to be, this stuff has been blowing up on Reddit, blowing up on TFTV, blowing up on like any, Team Fortress forum. Even Lameo box or whatever the fuck, like, even those guys are pissed, the hacker group, because they hate it, and everyone hates it, and it's people abandoning matches. It is so fucking annoying to have people abandoning matches. And not only that, remember I said it's like a 2-part pet peeve? It is also people not taking the game seriously. That kind of falls into abandonment sometimes of matches, but for example, we're going to start with the not taken seriously part first. Some people don't take the game seriously. They run like I've seen fucking friendlies in matchmaking. I saw these like 2 fucking furry guys who were, I was playing like I think a product match, and they were holding their chocolate sandwiches or whatever the fuck that item is, and they were trying to just like walk up to mid and just like try to like feed people sandwiches, and they were being friendly, and like it pissed me off so much that they weren't taking the game seriously. It's supposed to be competitive, like it's supposed to be play to win, and holy fuck, I died to a fucking free to play pyro, judging by his loadout. But yeah, it's something people are supposed to take seriously, and it is just so annoying to like pair up against people who don't take it seriously. And on the topic of abandoning, that's a big one we have to go over. And here, just give me a second. I'm drinking coffee, by the way. I made myself. It's caramel macchiato. Well, not really a caramel macchiato. It's like a caramel macchiato latte. It's like my homemade kind of coffee. No one really, like, I don't think it's got a name. But anyways, yeah, on the topic of abandoning now, we're talking about, there's many things that influence abandoning. And now, obviously, like, people have stopped abandoning at the beginning of like games, like in pre-game, because I guess people have realized, like, Valve has that message, where it says when you want to play competitive, it gives you that like 5 pointers and tells you if you have a custom HUD, please remove it. So definitely the custom HUD users aren't the ones getting these abandons. That's been fixed probably within the first week. People have realized that what is causing this abandoning is either just people not taking the game seriously, and people just like people just like thinking they can leave and there's no penalty to matchmaking. Thankfully there is now, but I still think people do it. And another thing that's probably a bigger reason of abandoning is definitely some maps. I'm specifically talking about Swiftwater. If you guys have noticed, if you played a Swiftwater game, it's probably the map, like statistically, it's probably the map that receives the most abandons of any other map. And I really think that is because just like, it's kind of a problem I have with Overwatch on like another topic. When you play Overwatch in the competitive queue, there's a lot of like like King of the Hill maps and like stopwatch based maps. Well, not really. They don't have stopwatch, but they have like King of the Hill. I'm talking about King of the Hill, attack, defense, and payload. Like the main problem with those maps is trying to get people on the same page, and not baiting each other like when you do it. And like it's really hard to like get everyone on the same page in payload and King of the Hill unless you're actually part of like a team, because like I'd say payload and King of the Hill requires a lot more communication than like uh, any other game modes. Unfortunately, they're like one of the only game modes in Overwatch. But let's bring this back to TF2. TF2 got 5 CP. It's a way more fluid, like streamlined kind of game mode than, or format rather, format or game mode, game mode. It's way more streamlined game mode than like Payload and King of the Hill are. And King of the Hill is not bad, trust me. But for Payload, let's say you're on offense, you bring your team at a 5v6. It requires a lot more teamwork and strategy than you think. Onto our, like, the pet peeves that we mentioned earlier about no comms. It's really annoying. And then you combine that with people not taking the game seriously, you can imagine how fucking shitty it is. And I'd say Swiftwater is a huge influencer of abandoning matches for people. And then just like, yeah, it's one of the worst things. And so, like, Swiftwater has to be changed. I don't think they need Swiftwater, and abandoning has been getting fixed, but people have to start taking the game seriously, and that's a huge pet peeve. Just like, I'm saying it like 3 times, man. Like, it is so annoying. And yeah, and holy shit, I think that's... Sorry, that's like PugChamp in the background. I queued up for a pug. But, yeah, another example of, like, I guess I'll leave it off with the last example of, not taking the game seriously, is probably... It's probably like, It's like people who run stupid loadouts, but they know that they're bad. Like Demo Knight, or like Boxing Heavy, or like they run these like subclasses, or they run like Parachuting, Market Gardening Soldier, and like they run these like meme loadouts, and like they don't give a shit while there's like people out there trying, and it's just fucking annoying. Like I'll just leave it off at that. Like, that is probably the biggest pet peeve of all time, is people abandoning matches and not taking the game seriously. And hopefully that will get fixed. But yeah, I'll end it off with that. That's been the rant video of today. I'm planning on making a bit more TF2 videos in the following month. Plan on making a video on a CP Cargo playtest. It's a new up-and-coming map. I think it's made by the creator of Snakewater. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm probably wrong, but it is made by a popular map maker, CP Cargo. And we'll do a playtest of that. And yeah, we'll leave it off at that. Maybe Mike make an Overwatch video this month. We'll see. I'm kind of in the mood for TF2. But thank you all for watching. If you like the video, just subscribe. Don't really give a shit about the likes. Another thing, the best way to connect, if you do enjoy this content, if you want to see more, the best way you can connect is if you join my Steam group, which is, you can find it on my channel, or you can find it on my in the description below. So yeah, once again, goodbye guys. When you're in matchmaking, think about these pet peeves. Don't let them get to your head too hard, and try to make the game as best as you can for your teammates. Try to teach them, try to be really nice, and get them to just understand. So thanks for watching guys. I'll see you later. Peace out.